pranksters, but in like huge quotation marks. Because I'm not talking about entertaining pranksters like Misfit Minds, Family Friendly, Ash Out, you know, those kinds of people. I'm talking about people that straight up harass people in public.
You work here, right? My little brother is stuck in the what's it called, the third stall, like the big stall. Can you help me? Thank you so much. I don't know that guy.
Or commit actual crimes and then put the word prank at the end of it to make it fine and just post it online. So let's start off with the drive-by prank.
Hey yo! Oh shit! Hey yo, Miss Piggy!
Okay, fine. I might have exaggerated a little bit when I said drive-by prank because he's only using water, but still, this is pretty bad. I mean, imagine how uncomfortable these people are gonna be, like being drenched in like wet clothes, because like the clothes are gonna be like all sticking to them and stuff, and that's gonna be terrible. Also, elephant in the room, I'm pretty sure this is a crime. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not like Saul Goodman or anything, but I'm pretty sure this is assault or battery, maybe one or the other. Obviously a very like light case of assault, but you know, spraying a liquid on somebody is probably wrong. Anyways, the next one we have is the haha, I almost paralyzed you prank.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, so my first thought watching this one was maybe it was an accident. Maybe he didn't mean to speed up, grab the kid, add the caption, and then upload it to TikTok. Okay, so it was definitely intentional. Then the question changes to what the hell does he gain from doing this, besides the pathetic chum change that TikTok pays? Even with that tiny amount of money, how can he like keep a clean conscience knowing that he on purpose ran into a kid while ice skating? I mean, all I'm saying is that it could have ended a lot worse. Finally, we've got the they chimping out prank.
He chimping out. You said, what's the issue? Because I looked at him.
Chimping out?
He chimping out.
Put that phone down.
Why?
Phone down.
You don't like looking ugly?
Put that phone down, bitch ass boy.
Shut up, nigger. Come on, come do something. Come do something.
Put that phone
Pull
down.
up.
Oh, he got found. Put
Yeah, yeah, walk up.
Alright.
That's what I thought.
Alright.
They chimping out. They chimping out. Dumbass niggers. Yeah, turn your fucking music down and don't park in the fire lane no more. That's what we're talking about. Don't park in the fire lane no more. Dumbass nigger.
If you listen carefully to this bit, you can hear he got fire on him.
Oh, he got found.
So I'm gonna assume the American Mr. Monopoly over here has a gun, just in case one of his hilarious pranks goes wrong. Honestly, I don't get why they would, because he's just going around making people laugh and spreading positivity and joy. And this is another one where you gotta wonder, like, what the hell does he gain from this? Alright, so this is the part of the video where I beg you to subscribe. So please, subscribe. Okay, that was it. Now you can enjoy the rest of the video. Anyways, the next type of person, straight up degenerates. Like basically anybody who would do anything for a good clip.
You're in trouble. Why? Oh shit. That crypto shit.
So let's talk about Nina Lynn, because recently she's been doing stuff, and I say recently, but I'm talking about like a couple of months ago. And it all started when she started stealing from Target while live streaming herself doing it a total of 8 times.
If it don't scan, it's free, right?
If she's this comfortable stealing on camera, imagine what she's doing off camera when she's not being watched by the 10 simps in her chat trying to get laid. Because it does seem like most of the people she hangs out with would encourage this kind of behavior. Like when her and one of her loser friends decided to try and SA a guy on stream. Again, there were like cameras, there were people watching, and just nothing happened. You know, they were just allowed to do this. Side note, why are his friends like doing nothing? He's like clearly doesn't want to. He clearly doesn't want to go anywhere with these women.
23, he's consensual.
No, he's not consenting.
And they're just watching, and I mean, some of them are even laughing. Anyways, with all of this happening, she got banned for about 2 weeks, which by the way, Twitch said it was going to be a permanent ban. So she gets unbanned, and you guys know how Twitch moderation gets down. These guys are the biggest gooners ever. They would ban a guy for years over nothing, and would ban a female with big tits for like a week. There are plenty of cases like this happening. Like this one time where this guy got banned for just under a year for making a joke to one of his friends that were in chat, because he was playing God of War and he was doing a kicking only challenge to like complete the game only kicking enemies, and he made a joke to his friend about kicking him or something, and then he got banned for a year. But Nina Lynn over here is allowed to steal from Target, documenting the entire process, flexing that she stole from Target.
Look, I got you some Target too. Guess how much I paid? $3.99.
Then sexually assault a guy and just get away with a slap on the wrist because what? Because you can see her cleavage? Are we serious right now?
It's pretty difficult to put into words how disgusted I am.
Anyways, let's move on to NPC commenters. Honestly, these people annoy me a lot more than they should, considering they aren't really doing anything that's actually annoying. I just don't understand why they do it, so I just ball my fist and shake it in the air like an old man. But honestly, any sort of NPC comment that gets copied and pasted everywhere applies to this like category. Whoever is reading this, I hope you become rich and successful, or some sort of comment like that. Now this one's kind of nice because, you know, it sparks a bit of a fire inside of me, so I decide to get up and, you know, stop doom scrolling for about 10 minutes, and then I come back for the next hour or two. But this one's pretty nice, and it's the only one that I actually like on this entire list. People that comment first. This is one I don't think I'll ever understand, because this is just like a pick me comment. Because what the hell do you think is going to happen to you? Like the CEO of YouTube is just going to appear out of thin air and just like suck you off or something. Like guys would comment first under a video as if they're trying to get like 100% speedrun on YouTube or something. And this gets even worse when multiple people comment first, all thinking that they were first. But then you just end up with like 5 idiots all saying first. 0 views in 5 seconds, a bro fell off. This like level 1 rage bait is so weird, because like in like the next 5 minutes or something, your comment won't even make sense. Okay, for this one, I need you guys to imagine a really funny comment right here. Edit 1, thank you so much for 5 likes. Edit 2, oh my gosh, I got 135 likes. Edit 3, Mom, I'm famous, I can't believe it. Like when people do this, I mean, I guess I kind of understand, you know, it's kind of exciting to see your comment on the top and to see it getting all of these likes. But I mean, really? Like, sure, you could be happy, but how often are you checking a comment that you left to see how many likes it's on? Then again, I don't really comment, so I can't really talk about this one. Finally, we've got actual bots, like actual programs that have been designed to just spam the same type of comments under like really popular videos. And every single time that you press on one of their profiles, it links to some shady scam website. And because I couldn't be bothered to find any myself to put up on screen, I made ChatGPT do it. Because realistically, where else do I have to look when I've got the source right here? Something about this video feels really nice to watch. I can tell a lot of work went into this. It really shows. It's so cool how this video manages to be entertaining and calming at the same time. You know, really generic NPC level voice lines like that. Like you can kind of tell it wasn't written by a real person. Like you can kind of tell that it was either written by an actual AI or just an old person who doesn't know how to like use the internet. And I guess the same thing kind of goes with NPC picture comments. Like those couple of pictures that you see under every single damn TikTok. Because nowadays there are so many pictures that are just floating around that there's one for basically every single emotion. Whether you're laughing or cringing, there's gonna be a picture that expresses how you feel. Like for example, you've got like get a load of this guy, which, wow, there are a lot. What the hell? Or like, that was weird. I guess they could kind of apply for both. And then you get to ones which are spammed on basically every single video for one creator. The best example I can think of is this stupid bird getting spammed under every Hoopify video. You know, everyone's like, oh, how bro talks, and they slap a picture of that stupid bird. And then it gets even worse when you scroll down a little bit further in the comments and people are putting this picture, the Henry Danger one, mocking the NPC commenters, being like, oh quick, say that he sounds like that bird from Storks. Last time I checked, the saying was, if you can't beat them, join them. Not if you want to beat them, join them. Editor, insert a laugh track for that joke. See, that's funny because I'm the editor of the video.
We do not care.
Okay, the next type of people. People who are negative about everything. Like some of my videos, I guess you can kind of say they're negative about stuff. Like the worst things to spend your money on, the world of bad anime, the most annoying types of people. Like sure, these are negative videos, kind of. But like, I'm not being completely serious when I make them. You know, I'm not sitting there foaming at the mouth because of whatever I'm talking about. I just find something stupid to talk about and I just go on and on and on and I just start ranting. And honestly, if you guys could see how much stuff gets cut out of the final video, because I end up just rambling. So the first case of people being negative is people that hate on Mr. Beast, because literally he could do anything and people are going to find a way to hate on it. For example, this post that I found, Mr. Beast is not a great person and his philanthropy is harmful. The main problem with him, in my opinion, however, is he promotes rampant consumerism. A lot of the time he says that the people have X amount of time to spend Y money, leading to ridiculous spending sprees where they buy wasteful things that don't actually help a person's life. This kind of reminds me of that one Piney video where he talked about the Mr. Beastification of YouTube. So a very basic version of the video is basically Mr. Beast kind of found the Krabby Patty formula of YouTube by doing what the guy on Reddit said, just spending crazy amounts of money in a certain amount of time. And you know, everybody started doing it and you know, a bunch of copycats started to form, doing quite literally the exact same thing as Mr. Beast.
But one thing that I'm really exhausted by is seeing these goddamn Mr. Beast copycats all over my goddamn homepage.
With the over-the-top sound effects, crazy flashy editing, and always yelling. These guys, they're always yelling at the top of their lungs, as if they don't have microphones strapped to their chest. Mr. Beast is absolutely one of those moments where I feel completely out of touch. Like, he seems obviously horrid to me. The stay in the circle thing was awful, and it was like, I don't know, it feels like the Colosseum at Rome. Mr. Beast throws slaves into a pit with lions and we all point and laugh and enjoy how desperate the slaves are, and it's baffling to me. Honestly, that entire comment was baffling to me. How are we, what do you mean slaves in a pit? Come on, people are such drama queens online. Slaves in a pit. These guys are willing participants and they can leave whenever they want. He's not holding them hostage. You know, this guy's out here describing Mr. Beast like he's the Saw guy. What was his name again? Like, I don't get how he's comparing willing participants in a YouTube video to slaves in a lion's pit in the Colosseum at Rome. I don't understand how people can like sincerely recommend his content and link him to me without like a disclaimer or any sense of shame or anything. Like, the content doesn't seem to register to them as bad. Yeah, because it isn't. It's literally a goofy challenge where someone has to like stay in the box for 100 days and they win a prize, where they can leave whenever they want. Obviously the incentive for staying is huge, but that's the point of the challenge. That's like me saying Survivor is like borderline torture because they have to do these physical challenges so they can win money at the end, and they have to emotionally manipulate people to not get voted out. Like, at the end of the day, it's just a game. It's just a challenge. No one's forced to do anything. This isn't like a hostage situation. But you know, these are just people on, you know, comment sections and Reddit. So who really cares about what they have to say? So what about when people dedicate their entire channels to just hating on people? I'm talking about all of those channels that edit like Sunny V2, which a bunch of people have already made videos on, including Pinely. So let's go over what he spoke about. Basically, all of these commentary video essay channels, whatever you want to call them, have the same title, the same thumbnail style, And I feel like this picture sums it up perfectly, with thumbnails like, he's done, life ruined, and you know, stuff like that. And most of these channels just have a large focus on negativity and painting the subject of the video in a bad light.
Sunny's videos are mainly an afterthought to his title and thumbnail. That's why he gives about like 5 or 6 different possible reasons as to why Kwebbelkop lost his viewership, and the one that makes the least sense, the one that is the most odd and out of place, is also the one that he put in his thumbnail. He created this narrative of a man losing everything because he boasted about his wealth, because it's interesting, because it's good content.
You know, this kind of shows that these channels take more of a focus on trying to get a big name in their video, focusing on a good title and thumbnail, rather than focusing on important parts of the video, like the research, which is, you know, pretty fucking important. And while I was looking for stuff to talk about in this part of the video, I stumbled across this channel, The Internet Anarchist. And can I just say, calling yourself an anarchist is such a Redditor thing to do. Also, I hate to be that guy, but doesn't being an anarchist mean you promote anarchy, which is like the abolishment of government or whatever? You know, you are just sitting in your room talking about funny internet people. But you know what, it's just a name, let's not dwell on it too much. What we can do though is take a look at some of these thumbnails to see if he fits the profile. He is done, life ruined. He is done, life ruined. Life ruined. He is done. Oh wait, no. She is done. Sorry, I had only recorded 2 voice lines because that's basically all of his thumbnails. It's like this guy's spamming light attacks in a Souls game, except he can't run out of stamina. Anyways, you can tell that he definitely qualifies for being a Sunny V2 clone and a downfall prayer. Like he preys on people's downfalls. You know, that made a lot of sense when I wrote this at like 2 o'clock in the morning. But the one thing that this guy does, which I just find hilarious, is glaze the ever-loving shit out of Moist Critical. How Penguin Zero destroyed YouTube's worst content thief. How Penguin Zero destroyed a psycho vegan bodybuilder. How Penguin Zero ended Kwebbelkop's career. And my personal favorite, how Penguin Zero took over YouTube without trying. Buddy, I'm gonna hit you with the cold water right now. He's not gonna let you hit. Then again, I kind of understand why he does it from like a YouTuber point of view, because if we look at his top 4 videos, they all have Moist Critical in them, and 3 out of the 4 videos are about him specifically. So to wrap up this section, consuming or creating this amount of content which is just pure negativity can't be good for you. Like, I'm not a psychologist or anything, but there has to be some sort of underlying long-term effect of always talking about how people fell off, how people ruin their lives, and all sorts of this stuff. And with that, the video is over. Like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.